Yeah, we have some shots of me driving just like silently, right? Yeah, okay. We have too many shots of that, yeah. When BMW reviewed the third generation X1, it didn't just review a car that had a nicer interior, provided great driving refinement, and was also far sharper looking than before. Instead, it also introduced a special spark, pun intended, to the nameplate that had not existed before. Today, we are in Bavaria and we are driving the first ever BMW iX1. The X1 and iX1 are built on the same platform, share the same body, and apart from some subtle badging here and there, look exactly the same on first glance. Up front, you still get the same stronger face, but on the large closed-off kidney grills, you'll find this lowercase I badge, denoting the car's electric identity, and of course, the blue surround of the BMW logo. If a BMW iX1 whizzes past you on the road, the chances are you won't be able to tell this fully electric SUV apart from a normal combustion engine X1. Most of us would have seen images of the iX1 with those eye blue accents on the front and rear aprons, but the cars that we have here today don't have them. And yeah, it really adds to the fact that this car is virtually indistinguishable from the X1. But I think by far my favourite part of the car's design is the rear, with this slightly tapered roofline, as well as these L-shaped 3D taillights, very nice looking. And of course, we have the same badging repeated again on the rear with this iX1 badge here, as well as the blue surround around the BMW logo. If we open up the tailgate, you'll see that we have a 490 litre boot, which is slightly smaller than on the X1. On the X1 it's 540 litres, but it's still a very usable square shape, and yeah, our luggage for the road trip fits just fine. As mentioned, because the BMW iX1 is built on the exact same platform as the X1, this being an EV, you don't really have to suffer any compromises in space. This driver's seat has been put into my ideal position. I'm 1.74 meters. As you can see, I have a good amount of legroom, and headroom is great too. If I move down to the center seat, because the floor is relatively flat, you still get a good amount of legroom. You can tuck your feet here if you want to. And again, headroom is pretty good. Even with the full electrification of the X1, this is still a very good passenger carrier, very good family car. Up front in the BMW iX1, everything is just as you would get on the X1. We still get this BMW curved display with a 10.25-inch digital driver's instrument cluster, as well as this 10.7-inch central infotainment touchscreen, both of which run BMW OS 8. In other words, this is a very familiar space if you are driving an X1. One thing to note, because we have a left-hand drive car, the center console is opening on the correct side. So Alright guys, so we are behind the wheel of the BMW iX1 right now. The BMW iX1 is currently only offered in one powertrain variant, and that is the xDrive30. That is a dual motor all-wheel drive setup. This produces 230 kilowatts or about 304 brake horsepower and 494 Newton meters of torque. For context, compared to what we have in Singapore, which is the X1 xDrive30, that is more than double the horsepower as well as the torque. That means that this car is all-wheel driven instead of the front-wheel driven car that we get in Singapore. This being an EV, that means that you get all of that torque instantly, and we have been driving up some mountain passes right now, in fact, and the car feels very well powered here. It doesn't feel like it's struggling in any way whatsoever. For those obsessed with century sprint timings, the X1 xDrive30 that takes 10.5 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. In the iX1 xDrive30, that takes 5.6 seconds, so the gap is really quite palpable. Of course, since this is an all-electric car, we have to talk range, and the iX1 isn't too shabby on this front. Its 64.7 kilowatt-hour battery allows it to hit up to 440 kilometers on a full charge. One thing I must commend as well is the fact that the brakes feel quite well weighted for a car of this weight. One great quality of the iX1 is how settled the ride feels. This is a very comfortable car even with the 20-inch tyres it's been given here. When we're attacking higher speeds on the autobahn, there's also none of that lightness or floatiness, so to speak, that smaller cars normally are plagued with. If there's anything to criticize perhaps, it's that the eco tyres don't provide quite enough grip, and that the car's weight is also hard to miss. The iX1 with its batteries and its motors is actually 500 kilograms heavier than the X1. So that's quite a lot more weight to lug around. But yeah, the brakes just feel very nicely weighted and commensurate to the car, even with the amount of power that it has. And also another thing that BMW has done well is with its adaptive regenerative braking system. I don't think many EV makers have gotten that right so far. It just adds to the driving comfort and refinement and overall relaxing experience that you get in the iX1 xDrive30.
In fact, with the iX1 now, BMW's electric lineup feels more complete than it's ever been.
Alright guys, so that was a very quick first look and first experience of the BMW iX1. What do you guys think about this car? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like, share and subscribe buttons and follow us on TikTok for more. For now, that's all from us from Bavaria, Germany. See you guys in the next video. Bye!